Shalom, shalom, Mishpachah. Shalom, shalom, Yadi. Children of Yahuwah, Yahusha HaMashiach. It is yours, truly and sincerely, yet again. Once again, Emmanuel Matif Yahu. And I'd just like to say, shalom to the Kadashim, the set apart ones, set apart in Kadesh, the select few, the elect saints, Shalach, chosen few, chosen ones. Shalom, shalom. To all of the beloved Yadid out there in YouTubeville, YouTube land, huh? Bright. So, we got a fun-filled lesson for you today. This is a message that has been one in my craw. just one in the draw. And haven't been quick on the draw with it until Yahusha set apart Qadesh spirit, Ruah, touches me and moves me and nudges me in that direction to pass this revelation and this affirming affirmation along that I have gotten in recent days, weeks, months. So y'all excuse that noise. That's just a dryer. But I do have my board. My ink and my marker getting low. I'm gonna have to renew that. I'm gonna have to get me another one. Hang tight. Get my board here. I will be going off my board today. I'm not gonna show it on the screen today. I'm just gonna use it as a prop today and kind of just piggyback what it reflects as I jotted down my notes. I got my two witnesses right here. But today's study is gonna be on why Christians should leave the church. I know I myself, it's a touchy yet inspiring subject. It's a touchy-feely one. It could ruffle some feathers and it could, but that's what truth does. The truth stirs you physically, emotionally, socially, mentally, and especially spiritually. So it's time more now than it ever has been, to really just address the spiritual religiousness that is encamped around us, that has been surrounding us in our environments, in our habitats, in our niches around the way. It's like a around the way fillet. It's like you can't get away from it. Every time you turn left, turn right. Every time you turn right, turn left. Any direction you go in, you're seeing a lot of just divide and conquer. You see a lot of division. And that's only because Yahushua is doing, separating the wheats from the tares and the sheep from the goats and everything. But I have about, let's see, 2, 3, there's 5 there, 8, 11 right there. It's so many. There's so many witnesses. Look, I just want to make for the record, I'm not nobody's boss. Don't think when you come to my channel because I'm sounding like I'm demanding and commanding things. It's like, no, that's just authority. That's just speaking with authority. That's just speaking with boldness. That's just speaking with the self-control that I have, the charge and the power that I have. I can't condone the practices you do on your channel or your account or on your page over there in YouTube land. So, and I really stay, out of, seats of scornful, mockers, scoffers. I stay out of the seat of the sadistic, twisted, and demented. I'm trying to remain Baruch. I'm trying to remain in favor, in the midst, in that number, in the presence, and in the shadow of the wings of Yahuwah HaMashiach. So, we really don't have time to spend and waste our energy and effort on, all these debate campaigns and all these democracies and all this bureau stuff. Everybody want to investigate and vet, and everybody want to interrogate you because you one of those religions. But we're going to get to debunking that today, huh? Yeah. We're going to get to debunking Christianity, you name them. You got the Buddha, you got the Islam, you got the Muslim, you got the man. There's so many. The Aramic, the Arabic, the Ramadan people. You got Lent people over here, Ash and Tammuz people over here. You got so many different denominations, non-denominations, not knowing that they serving blindly. It's blind serving, it's blind worship to Baal, to Baalim, to Belial, to Shaitan, because he himself disguises as an angel of light. So we have to be mindful and cognizant, very aware and very alert of the things that are taking place, the things that are to come. We have to focus on the unseen more so than the seen. And so because everything is seen, that's seen, it has been written right here in these scriptures over here. So let me just just clear the air with some of this. It was so many more witnesses. I didn't put them all on there, but I do have some meaningful witnesses to scrub in today's live stream. So sit back, relax, enjoy yourselves. Binge watch it on your TV, your iPad, your cell phone. Like I'm nobody's teacher, but I learned from the greatest teacher of them all. I'm nobody's rabbi. I learned from the greatest rabbi of them all. I'm nobody's master. I learned from the greatest master of all. All right? I'm just a messenger. I'm just trying to do my due diligence, do my part, do my job, do my portion in my section and sector of it, in the righteous kingdom that's at stake and that's at hand, and that's it. The greatest master, the greatest rabbi, and the greatest teacher is and was and always will be Yahuwah HaMashiach, our Elohim. So, Elohim. So, take what you receive here, with a grain of salt, and because it will be seasoned with salt, and you can take it to our King. All right. So, y'all, let me turn this buzzer off right here. Hold on. Turn this off. There we are. Right. So we're gonna bust down some scriptures right here. First topic of discussion is this, right? For all of those that are still stuck in limbo, in the lingo, in the bingo, bada bingo, bada boom, over there in Christianity, you gotta know something. Christian, the word Christian has etymology and definitions and meanings from the past, that you can look up and research on your own. Now, I'm not going to study for you and research for you, but I will be a plant sower. I will be a seed planter and just sow you this plant and this seed, and you can do what you will, what you do best. After that, but the word Christian is only in the scriptures 3 times. Count them, 3 times. And the word Christianity, I can't say that I have seen that. I've seen Christian, but Christianity, either or. It's a man-made word. It's a man-made term. It's a tradition of men, all right? And it's a religion. It's religious belief. A religious belief system. And you gotta understand, the system is broken, y'all. Everything we learned in this matrix of a system, this Babylonian matrix of a system, needs to be unlearned. We need to unlearn and relearn, because the truth was not told to us. All we got was LIES for our entire little lifespan. And we just now breaking out of that mold since the curse has been broken. You know, the 400-year curse. So you need to test and try and true all things. You know, every word, every sermon, test it. Test it against the word of truth, the bread of life, the book of life, Yahushua's word. Okay? All right, I don't want to start going on a tangent, going on a rant. I'm trying to cover some topics here. So we're going to go to Acts. We're going to go to 2 different separate chapters in Acts. First and foremost, I'm going to show you where it was written. I'm going to show you where it was written in these scriptures right here, ladies and gentlemen. So, you made it this far, make sure you thumb up the live stream and like it, comment if you have to, if you will, if you feel led and you so choose, and subscribe if the spirit move you. All right? Right. So, let's go to Acts chapter 11 and verse number 26 here. Here we are. Let's read that. It says, "Then Barnabas went to Tarsus to seek Shaul, and having found him, he brought him to Antioch. And it came to be that for an entire year they came together in the assembly and taught large numbers. And the first ones were called Messianists." They cleaned it up a little bit in the TS 2009. Called Messianists first in Antioch. They were called Messianists, not they are Messianists. You get me? This is where the old Norse words, the name calling, the slander, the slang, the provoking and the pushing and the pressing, the insinuating, the assuming and accusing came in at the idle words, because the King Agrippa did not fancy his language. He did not bridle his tongue. He let idle words just spew out of his mouth. So let's read the witness. We got the witness right here. So look. Then departed Barnabas to Tarsus for to seek Shaul, and when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church. And that word right there, there's a lot of background checking to be done, to be had if you hadn't done it. if you hadn't done so on that, and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. See, just 3 and 4 short years ago, I used to be on that side too. But you understand, it's only one right side of history, and then there's a wrong side of history. There's only one bright side of history, and then there's one dark side of history. You got the lightness, the brightness, and then you got the darkness. And there's no way that you can have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. 1 foot in there in the dark and 1 foot in the light, and vice versa. It just don't work that way. I just 3-4 short years ago, I was calling myself a Christian in the Christianity communities and everything. But you gotta understand, all the religions that's hanging out and roundabout are groups, are camps, and those are where you will find the paganisms. They keep the paganisms of the world, the paganistic, pagan, and gnostic behaviors, the attitude, the temperament, the personality, the character. They keep these hella days, aka holidays, and yet still go back to the word church right there every single Sunday and call it the Sabbath, or every single Saturday and call it the Sabbath. They aren't familiar with the calendar. They probably never read the book of Enoch. And just like they never read the book of Enoch, they never even studied up on the word church or the word Christian. You know what happened? Whatever came out of mankind's mouth is what they took to heart. You know, they took it to the extreme. You know, they went tooth and nail, eye for an eye. You know, they took it and just bit off more than they can chew, took that inch and ran off with a mile, and thought that was the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help them. And you know, that is just a farce. That is a hoax. That is a mirage and smoke and mirrors, huh? Yeah. Yes. So I just want to show y'all where this terminology is at right quick. So let's go over to Acts chapter 26 and verse 28 now. And do your one more in the same book, in the same Masai. Acts. Let's take a trip over there to chapter 26 now. Number 28 is the verse. It says, and Agrippa said to Shaul, with a little you might persuade me to become a messianist. See that? Almost persuaded. It's like King Agrippa was trying to entice them meaning, you know, the chosen, you know, the prophets, the Nabim, the messengers of Yahusha, like Paul, Saul, Shaul. You know, he had Barnabas with him when they went over there to Tarsus, and go over there to Asia and all these places to spread the word around, to spread the Basurah, the great news. See what I mean? And they got tempted, persuaded, enticed, and convinced, and influenced to believe that they were Christians, when that wasn't even what they was called back then. Yahusha called the people that was serving him and that he was serving, he called them brothers, sisters. He was calling his 12. He called them disciples. He called them apostles. Never once did you hear Yahuwah or Yahusha say, you are my Christians, or you're my Christians, or my you believing in me is Christianity. He never said nothing of the sort. So this is how you know a lot of people was eating that alive when it came out, because it was popular. There's a year, there's a date on these words, church and Christian and Christianity. You can see the year when it came about. You can see when it was established, when it was invented. Because it's made up. It's rubbish and poppycock. If you get my drift, if you catch on. So, let's read that. It says here, King Agrippa, believest thou the prophets? I know that thou believest. Then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian. Now, what exactly is that? See what I'm saying? He pretty much drugged them down to the ground, drugged them through the mud because of what they believed, who they believed in, which is Messiah, Yahusha. You know? So they had to add these words in there. They replaced the word that was really said. The word that was really said was probably more than likely Mashiach. Mashiach, Messiah, Yashaya. But like the enemy, the adversary would do anything to cover the real, cover it up, conceal it, sweep it under the rug. I used to believe the hype too. I was on the hype train, and I was right there in the thick of it, thinking I had it figured out, thinking I was on top of the world, thinking I could do no wrong. But boy, was I wrong. Boy. Wrong as gets. Wrong as can be. Huh? Yeah. So he was never called the Christ. He was called Mashiach. So Mashianist, Mashiachist. You know what I mean? It's not Christian. Christian is not Hebraic. Christian is not Abrit. It's not Hebrew language. Tall at all. So let's get that one more witness. That's 2 times that I already done pointed out that word got added to these scriptures here now. So now, let's take you over to 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse number 16 now. I'm going to take you over there. Why don't we? Let's see. Yes, indeedy. Let's read that first one. But if one suffers being a Mashianist, there it is, let him not be ashamed, but let him esteem Elohim in this matter. Witness says this: charity amongst ourselves, partakers of Yahusha's sufferings, Mashiach's sufferings. See what I'm talking about? Not charity amongst fellow men. You know what I mean? Or fellow, boys and girls, children, people's babies. Or charity among man and his wife, or wife and her husband. Like we are be doing charitable offerings. We are making burnt offerings unto Yahushua HaMashiach. That's what we're doing. We're being charitable unto him. When we give to the needy, when we give to the poor, You know, when we giving back, when we sitting here like I'm doing and pouring out and pouring into people's cup, you know, rather they take heed and comply and adhere or not, or whether they got holes in their cup or not, we just did a credit to Yahusha. We're doing it to the esteem of Alua Elohim, to Elohim. See what I'm talking about? And we must endure Mashiach's sufferings, because Yahusha suffered for us to not have to. Right? Right. It says, yet if any man suffer as a Christian, look at that, let him not be ashamed. Anytime you see something written in cursive, or if you see it written in italics in here, it's all wrong. Wrong. That's how you know it's added to. Something was taken out and something was added to. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him esteem, exalt Yahuwah on this behalf. See, it's just like this. If we calling Yahuwah Yahusha, if we calling Yahusha Yahuwah, we're not bringing his name to naught. But the moment you call him this Lord and Jesus, Christ and God, you're bringing his name to nothing. You're bringing his name to naught. Now you're comparing him in contrast to many different deities, many different mighty ones now, because they're all running and grabbing and chasing, you know, the walking stick, the rod and the staff of Yahushua HaMashiach. They're all running to try to be a knockoff of him. And they all are trying way too hard. They are in over their head. It's one him. And you got hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of these other pieties trying to be one maker and creator. And Christianity is probably one of the biggest of all the religions and non-denominations in the whole wide world of the U.S. of A. On this arise, on every four corner. Believe me, you. So got that out the way. So that's 3 times that was put into play, put into motion, put into movement by the wicked one, by the evil one, you all. So now, another topic of discussion of why Christians should leave the church and leave Christianity altogether is no conviction. They leave out of there with little to no conviction. Let me tell you, you're gonna leave out of there broke. You're gonna leave out of there broker than a joke. You're gonna leave out there with your pockets and your wallet, your purse, your fanny pack, or whatever have you, empty. Loose booty. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna leave out there broke, and you're gonna leave out there with the same watered down message that you got that previous weekend and whatnot. They'll find a way to stay on one parable, one passage, one line over line, one precept over precept, precept upon precept, and stay there for the whole 2-hour session. Stay there for the whole hour, or however long it is. Or they'll be on one thing for 15 minutes, passing the collection plate around, banging tambourines and stomping and jumping and hooping, hollering and shelling, shouting and speaking tongues that nobody know what they saying, and passing out on the floor and fainting and doing all that other stuff. Those things are not from above. Those things are not from on high. So no conviction, right? I specifically pulled, and I was led to, just open up some eyes, just to be, so it can be an eye opener. There's others. These are not the only ones, but there's others. But just want to hammer two of them in particular, just to make that case for you all, so that it's a strong case for you all to see. Spirit of life, right here. Now it says, this is Romans chapter 8, verse 1. There is Romain. There is then now no condemnation to those who are in Messiah, Yahushua, who do not walk according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. See, a lot of the Christians in Christianity that are walking, they're in a battle and in a war, and they have no clue, no idea, no hint. They are in a spiritual fight, a spiritual battle, a spiritual war that already been won, but they're raging war and battle and a fight. Flesh versus spirit, spirit versus flesh. Because they want to believe, but they don't want to do the work. They want to have amanah, but don't want to do the work. They want to have hope, and what have you, don't want to do the work. The Kahanan, the Han, the Chasad, they want all that, but don't want to put in the work. You want to trust in something that everybody else is doing because it's the locomotive, because it's what everybody's puffing on. Everybody's hopping on that bandwagon. It says here, now no condemnation to those who are in Messiah Yahushua. Not those who are in Messiah Jesus, or all hail Zeus, or JSUS, JC, CHRIST, those on that side. He's going to say, depart from me, I never knew you. That's what he's going to tell those who don't believe in his real, true name. And we'll get to that in just a bit. His real, true Hebrew name. If you want to believe in the Old Norse, in the Old French, in the Middle English, in the Germanic, and the Dutch, and all these fake names, all these fraudulent names, you'll be convicted. You'll be convicted later. You might not see it coming now, but you will see it coming shortly, very soon. So I highly advise, and it behooves you to remove yourself from that situation, that situationship, that fellowship, that congregation, that communion, that church, those buildings, those temples, those booths, those shelters. This is a stern warning to come out of there, to come out of her, my people. Huh? Yeah. If you understand, head nod. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up. Hit the like. Share. And comment. And subscribe. Because you in your flesh. All these non-denominations, all of these plastic, rubber-made religions are of the devil. I'm telling y'all right now. Can't make this up. Not for nothing. You either in the spirit or you in the flesh. You can't be in both of them at once. You can't be at once at the same time, or you will be split in two, lickety split, like a double-edged sword. I'm telling y'all, just like how that Red Sea opened up when Moses raised that staff and that rod, just like so, split in two. So you can believe in the Messiah, but you need to believe in the Messiah whose name is true, whose name is real, because it's been long overdue. We trying to go home. We trying to see the sky crack open. We trying to see Mashiach come back. We're waiting on the return. We're waiting on the Elohim. We're waiting for him to be with us yet again. The second helping. We already missed out on the first go round, on the first go ahead. There ain't no sense of us missing out on the second go round, the second go ahead. Those who do not walk according to the flesh, but according to the spirit. See, your flesh want to be cool. Your flesh want to be dope. Your flesh want to be awesome. Your flesh want to be amazing. Your flesh want to fit in. Your flesh want to be liked. Your flesh want to be adored. Your flesh want to be admired. Your flesh want that dopamine fix, that dopamine hit. Your flesh wants you to be seen. Want to be heard and seen in some instances. For the most part, for some. But you gotta understand. The eyes of a man never satisfied, and the flesh, the skin and bone that we occupy is never satisfied either. Never. That's why people hop from religion to religion. They jump, skip, and hop from room to room. They jump, skip, and hop from like a trampoline, like a pogo stick, like a little jackrabbit. They go from religion to religion, denomination to denomination. They go to Protestant, boom. Don't get their ears tickled and don't get the itchy ear pleased and satisfied over there. They go to Roman Catholic. They'll go to Methodist. They'll go to Baptist. They'll go to Pentecostal. They'll go to Lutheran. Just bouncing around, back and forth, up and down, round and round, roller coaster ride, tumultuous toss, from wind to wind, to and fro, getting led astray. Because that's exactly what Christianity is built to do. Built to get you condemned. Because you know who condemned already? The one that is preposterous and has blasphemed the Ruach HaKodesh already. And that is you know who. Hasatan. Yep. So, this is a warning. Don't join Hasatan. Don't sit there and pal up and buddy up with Hasatan and get duped and get swindled and get bamboozled and get tricked and then get put out of your misery by default because you want to hang on by a thread, by that little last string of life that you got. Because everybody else is doing it. Nah. Just because everybody else doing it don't make it right. This is specifically for the Christians that come to my channel. For the ones in Christianity, dropping off all this Christian verbiage, all this Christian verbal gymnastics on my station. I'm just telling y'all what the Heavenly Father, Father of Lights, Yahuwah, Alua, Yahushua HaMashiach has told me. And this is long overdue. Long overdue. Do not get condemned because of your skin and bone, because of your flesh. Don't do it to yourself. Nobody's forcing your hand. Nobody's making you. Nobody's pushing you up to it. Nobody's pressing for you to do that. It's just because that's what you see. It's a monkey see, monkey do activity happening around here. Yeah? Transpiring. Oh, that looks fun. Let me go do that. No. You ain't even checked the source. You ain't checked with the source. You ain't checked your resources either. You got the source up here. Resource right here. That's 2 witnesses. Boom. Boom. Look at that. Can't make this up. Not for nothing. And I'm telling y'all this out of ahava, out of love. It's not for me. It's not for me to judge. And it's not for me to condemn. Because there's only one that is our judge. And that's Yahuwah, Alua, Yahushua HaMashiach. I'm just passing on the message. I'm passing it down, being a messenger. I'm passing it onward. I don't want your blood on my hands. I do not. So, but let's go to John. Let's go to John. Cause I don't want to go tremendously deep into it, because this could be very well a series as well. But this is gonna be a one off, a one and done. Yeah. Yes. John Yehukanan, chapter 16, verse 8. Now watch this. Pardon me. And having come, he shall convict the world concerning sin, and concerning righteousness, and concerning judgment. Now, let's get that witness as well. A couple chapters down. There we go. This is the warning. This is the warning, you all. And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin and of righteousness and of judgment. So, he's utilizing me and using me for his will. Is what you have to understand and overstand. He's using me for his reign that is to come. It will be supreme. Mind you. He's utilizing and using me to voice his ways that you ought to comprehend. That you are in sin going against his word. Because if you're considering yourself anything other than what's written right here, you, my friend, are in sin. Kid you not. And if you despise his word of truth, you already been judged. You already been condemned. If you despise and hate and dislike his word of truth, his great news, his basurah, his laws, statutes, and commandments, his right rulings, his righteousness, his Torah, his Tanakh, then you, my friend, are in sin. That's why I'm afraid I have to sit right here and give you this stern warning These are warning words for the Christianity Christians snooping around on YouTube, leaving all these hasty remarks and comments and responses and rebuttals and replies everywhere, thinking that they're making a statement, but you are exposing yourself, huh? You exposing yourself. Beloveds, stop the presses. Stop the madness. Stop it right now. Now, I'm not bluffing. It reads what it reads. He's going to come in to convict. Remember I was telling y'all, you won't find no conviction in the church, but I guarantee you, you sit with one of his children, one of his sons and daughters, one of his native born, and one of his grafted in, you're going to find out what truth sound like. You're going to find out what the truth is. You're going to find out real trueness real quick and fast like. And in a hurry, huh? So if I'm you, I'd rapidly get on the ball. Get on the ball. Get your house in order. Get yourself together. Tidy up. Get organized. Get neat and clean. Accept Yahusha into your hearts and minds. Ladies and gentlemen, people, accept the way and be a follower of the way. The way, the truth, and the life is Yahushua HaMashiach, not Jesus Christ. Not Lord Jesus Christ, not Lord Jesus, not Lord God. All them is Baal. All them is Baalim. All them is Baphomet. You get me? Do you got me out there? It's very plain to see how vile and foul and wicked and evil and crooked this world is. And it's getting darker and darker and darker by the second, by the minute, by the hour, by the day. But you're also comfy cozy. You're so comfy cozy and convenient with what a man had said to you years ago. Where this man at now? Oh, this pastor, this preacher, this reverend, this minister, this deacon, this bishop, this woman said to you years ago. Where they at now? Still stuck, still stagnant, still complacent, right? And you want to go all down there and do it with them, huh? Yeah. But guess what? He said he coming to convict the world concerning sin and righteousness. So rather you be in good shape or rather you be in bad shape, he coming to convict. He coming to judge. He ain't bringing the shalom next time. He not bringing the peace next time. He bringing the sword next time. So be found doing the right thing. Righteously. No, none of us is going to be fully righteous. No, none of us is going to be fully perfect. But we ought to strive and thrive in that direction, on that pathway, ancient of old, ancient of days. We got to get back to doing so. Get back to doing that. Unless you die in your sins. Huh? And that's in John as well. Lest you perish. It's not a game no more, folks. It never has been. It's not no joke. It's not no kid around town with this. Concerning righteousness and concerning judgment. He's going to give each according to his works according to his deeds, according to his actions. So just y'all's belief and y'all faith and hope and trust and confidence, Shakya, is not the only thing that's going to be considered. Were you keeping the laws? Were you keeping the statutes? Were you keeping the commandments? Were you keeping the right rulings? Was you keeping the Torah, the Tanakh? Was you keeping his high days and his appointed times? Was you keeping the Shabbats? Was you keeping the Sabbaths? Was you on the right calendar? Or was you following the ways of the heathen? Huh? Yeah. Yes. And trust me, he sees. He can look from pillar to post, from corner to corner. On this firmament, on this earth, on this rocks. He can see. He all seeing, all knowing. He know if you're going to do it or not. He know if you got a heart of his or not. In your mind, body, soul, spirit, vessel, and temple. He know if it's of him or not. If you got that, like that. Because he the one gave it. He the one arranged and established and created it and made it. Like so. You feel me? You dig me? So, wake it up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Now, the next thing is going to be this. We're going to talk about Matthew now. We're going to talk about the so-called rapture. Look here. There's never been a first rapture, and there's never going to be a second rapture. So I got some witnesses down here jotted down that's going to debunk a first so-called rapture and a second so-called rapture. Nobody's going to be caught up nowhere. Only thing we need to be caught up in is love, ahava, Love. We don't need to be caught up in all this pageantry and paganry around here. Evil tree. Tell you that much. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 40 to 41 here. Because, yeah. I know. So many of us say, oh, well, this person, that person, this Aki, this Akudi. Do DIY. Do it yourself. Don't be having your Aki and your Akudi carry your weight for you. That's pure unadulterated laziness. That's pure unadulterated lackadaisical slothfulness. That's a deadly sin too. Man, we sin on mistake. That's how much sin floating around. That's how much sin is going around. We sin by mistake, on accident. Coincidentally. And sure, we're going to have miscues and mishaps and errors. But this spirit of error is a huge one. Huge. It's a big deal. Christianity. Christians in general, and all the rest that fall in that umbrella, underneath that umbrella. All of that is a Babylonian empire, And there's many, 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 many deities over it, supporting it. Even them powers that be, even them higher ups. They don't even know Yahusha. And the Christians that come to my page with all this AMEN stuff, y'all don't know Yahusha either. But you're going to get to know him today. Now watch this. Where's chapter? There, 24 and 40 and 41. Look, watch this now. Then two shall be in the field, the one is taken and the one is left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill. One is taken and one is left. Y'all hear me? These are the signs of the end. These are the signs of the end times. We're not going to be here forever unless we're doing the will of Yahuwah, Yahushua HaMashiach, unless we following the way, the truth, and the life, unless we're following the light of the world, the bread of life, the book of life, his people, his children, his sons and daughters are going to be taken first. They're going to be taken first. While them evildoers are going to get left behind. Why? Because of judgment. They think when they read this scripture I just read, they think they just going to get raptured up. This ain't no tornado. This ain't no twister. This ain't no hurricane. This ain't no torpedo. This ain't no typhoon. He's going to collect his sheep, his wheat. And he's going to awaken the living and the dead. Everybody going to see him coming. This should be a stern warning shot right here. These are the signs of the end times and the coming of the Son of Man. The coming of the Son of Adam. Yahushua HaMashiach. Let me read that witness. Yahusha says we don't know the date or the hour. We don't know the day, or the hour. But he knows the day, the date, and the hour. Our Father in heaven knows. So it behooves of us to prepare oneself. Prepare yourselves. Prepare ourselves. So that we might not perish, but live, people. But live. See that? Then shall be two in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. 2 women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken, and the other left. So we got to watch and be thoughtful. Watch and be prayerful and palau that we are counted worthy and deserving to escape and flee to escape what's finna go down on this sinking sand. Because this USA, this America, is not no solid foundation. What has the system done for you? It's broken. It need repairs. Huh? Can't even get nothing out of this so-called economy, society. The economy is broke, society broke. All these methods and mechanisms is broke. Workforce broke. Everything broke. So you want to have your broken heart mended? Guess what? Yahusha mends the broken heart and binds up the wounds, huh? Yes. Let's keep this thing pushing. Let's go back to the letters of Shaul now. We're going to go to 1 Corinthians 15, chapter 15, verse 51 and 52, okay? Everybody can get there when they get there, because we're on the road today. I'm on the road today now. 15 and 51, yeah. See that? Now let's read. Let's read now. Here we go. See, I speak a secret to you. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed, people. So the ones that are set apart, that stand out, that separate themselves from this worldly environment, from this worldly territory, from these worldly things, they will be taken up. Snap of a finger, drop of a hat. Just like that. Straight like that. Straight up. Soon as that trumpet sounds, his children are going to be changed. New body. New vessel. New temple. Yeah. Maybe even a new name too, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Just speaking on it, the living and the dead, the corrupt and the incorrupted will be changed, shall be changed. And right now, this is your time to practice. For those of you who are sinful in nature, that are in habitual sin or willful sin, we are to be blameless. You see what I'm talking about? Before the sight, before the eyes of Yahuwah, Yahushua HaMashiach, we are to be blameless. Without blemish, without spot. Shame. There's a lot of shame happening, and nobody is ashamed. You got the people, you got men, bodybuilders. They showing off their stuff, strutting their stuff with no shirt on social media. You got these women with these tighty whities, huh? With the sports bra, with the belly out, with the chest, the cleavage hanging out. You got the tight tights on. You're going to get left behind if you keep this act up, if you keep these antics up. Nobody want to see that. Cover up. Cover up. Let me go back a little bit before I read that witness. And this I say, brothers, that flesh and blood is unable to inherit the reign of Elohim. You see that? Neither does corruption inherit incorruption. Look at that. Your flesh and bone can't get you into the kingdom. Your flesh and bone can't get you into the inheritance and the reign of Elohim when it comes down. Because it's about to go down. It don't matter how fine you look. It don't matter how beautiful you are. It don't matter how sexy you is. It don't matter how handsome you is. It don't matter how cute you are. Huh? Yeah. You better pray and pull off. You better change your ways before you get changed by Yahuwah, Yahushua HaMashiach. Because if he change you, you ain't going to like it very much. So you better do what he say and do it now, time now, right now, before it's too late. All you who consider yourselves and claim to be Christians and claiming Christianity, come out. Come out of her, my people. Come out. Today. Yesterday. Last week. Last month. Last year. Come out of her, my people, he said. That's what he said. He ain't stutter. Come out. Because some of you who still standing there looking goofy, you are his people. You are his native born, natural branch. Still looking crazy. Still looking at insane. Looking at people trying to woof them. Trying to wuss them. Trying to throw bows and stuff. Trying to drop hammers and everything. Want to lay your hands on people. Want to put hands on people. Wake up. Ain't no rapture happening until you hear that trumpet sound, huh? Ain't no rapture going no place, going to take place nowhere until you hear that final trumpet. Until you hear that last trumpet, that's when. So we on the final countdown. We in the last days. We living in it. Get used to it. Because we don't have much longer left. Now, where's that witness? Where is that witness? I tell you what, we're gonna witness Yahusha being resurrected right up in front of our eyes. Imagine that. All you who claim and proclaim raptures is happening, you gonna tremble and shake and shiver. You gonna be quivering like a bowl of jello, like a bowl of jelly, when you see Yahushua HaMashiach coming on the clouds in all his splendor and grandeur and alert. Huh? Yes, yes. The resurrection will be defended by his children, by his people, by his sons and daughters. We're going to be wielding the sword. Boom. Do you want to find yourself on the receiving end of the sword being wielded? Or do you want to have a sword in your hand wielding them? Wielding them at these satanic people. Because we're under a satanic democracy, people. We under a satanic debacle. We're under the order and the rule of some demonic, wicked people. We're under the rule and thumb of some satanic, sadistic, twisted, and demented, and demonic folks, people. Do you want to be on the right side of history? Swinging the sword. Whoom. Yeah. We're going to have resurrected bodies in an instant. Resurrected bodies. Oh, you're going to see. So, believe you me, if I'm you, I want to see it right now. I want to see myself get myself together. You get yourself together. You get your family together. And you get on the good foot. Hoppity skipping, hoppity do thy day. And skip to it. Hop to it. Rooty toot tooty, you'd be Fred Flintstone with the hot feet. Yeah. Cause that's the only way you're gonna get the win. That's the only way you're gonna win the crown. That's the only way you're gonna escape death. That's the only way you're gonna be victorious over death. That's the only way you're gonna get the victory over death. You hear me? Y'all don't hear me? Yes. Behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpets shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed, people. Folks out there in YouTubeville, YouTube land. Right. Right. Now is the time. No better time than now. Wake up. Sleepy heads. Wake it on up. Ain't no more breakfast in bed. Get up. What we doing? We got some place to be. We got something to do. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. 4 and 13 through 18, shall we? Now, brothers, we do not wish you to be ignorant concerning those who have fallen asleep. Lest you be sad as others who have no expectation. See, the Christians in Christianity and everybody else that's under that Babylonian empire, under that Babylonian umbrella, piling up, elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, with all these other entities. Guess what? You enmity to Yahusha. So wake up out of your slumber, huh? Wake up out of your slumber. Don't be so ignorant that you can't see that Babylon is falling. Falling slowly but surely. Come on. Come on. For if we believe that Yahusha died and rose again, so also Elohim shall bring with him those who sleep in Yahusha. So those who believed in Yahusha, who no longer with us, will be brought back to us. And they too shall be wielding the sword and defending the resurrection. They too will be on board because they expected it before they went away. They are nothing but sleeping right now, says Yahusha. They are asleep. Snooze fest. Frankenstein. Mummy mode. Yeah. He says he did not wish us to be ignorant concerning those who have fallen asleep. Because we got some that's woke, all the way woke. Got some who woke, half sleep. You got some who half woke, half sleep. Get up. Get on up, get on up, get on up. For this we say to you by the word of the Master, that we, the living, who are left over at the coming of the Master, shall in no way go before those who are asleep. Because the Master himself shall come down from heaven with a shout, with the voice of a chief messenger, and with the trumpet of Elohim. And the dead in Messiah shall rise first. Then we, the living, who are left over, shall be caught away together with them in the clouds to meet the Master in the air. And see, they think that this is the rapture. All them pre-Constantine Christians think that this is the rapture when they hear this verse. When they hear these verses and these precepts and these passages and this line over line, precept upon precept that I'm reading, they think that this is the rapture. No. Listen to what's being said. And so we shall always be with the Master. You with the Master now, even before we even get in the air with him. That's the part you misinterpret and miscalculate. So then encourage one another with these words. Where's that witness at? Let's see. The ones that are that deceased and that were dead and that died, they are but asleep, Mashiach says. The Master says. Elohim says. Yahushua HaMashiach. He said, and they shall rise. I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye shall sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. Don't be one of them ones left out in the cold because you put your hope and trust and confidence and belief and faith, your amunah, in a deity, in a piety, in other mighty ones, in enmity, in the devil. Don't let Baal, Baalim, Belial take your crown based on your ignorance. Well, it says right here that JC is such and such and whoop-de-woo, and that LORD is such and such and whoop-de-woo, and GOD is such and such and boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo. Let me tell you something, boo-boo. The King James and the Sapphire and a lot of these NIVs, NLTs, BSBs, CSBs, and ESVs were man-made and man-written. But yet, you still want to swallow that. You still want to swallow and engulf all of that gluttony, and all that deadly sin that was spoon-fed to you. When clearly right here, if we believe that Yahusha died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahusha will bring Yahuwah with him. Yahusha bringing Yahuwah with him. Yahuwah bringing Yahusha, Yahusha bringing Yahuwah. You're going to see both in one being. That's what you're going to see. For this we say unto you by the word of the Yahuwah Elohim, that we, which are alive and remain until the coming of the Yahuwah Elohim, shall not prevent them which are asleep. The living and the dead. And then he says the ones that are dead aren't even dead, they sleep. For the Yahuwah Elohim himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahuwah, and the dead in Yahusha shall rise first. Then we, which are alive and remain, shall be caught up together with them in the clouds. The clouds of the angels. He's going to be coming on the clouds with the angels, with the chariots. Swing low, sweet chariot. Yes. To meet the Yahuwah Elohim in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Yahuwah Elohim. Wherefore, comfort one another with these words. So I'm here to tell you, I thought wrong. I thought I had it right too. Yeah, oh, he's this, he's that, he's that. Bum, 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 bum. You have to keep being a student. You have to keep being a child. You can't just get to a stopping point and think, oh, I don't need to learn nothing else. I don't need to study nothing else. I don't need to research nothing else. No, you got to keep on striving, keep on thriving, keep on climbing. There's levels to be elevated to. There's levels to be advanced to. There is many mansions in the kingdom of heaven that is to come. There is many rooms in heaven that is to come. And there's also levels to the kingdom. So be taken to new heights. Don't be afraid of the newness of life. Our spirit and life is like together. It's like one. Because before life existed, our spirit was already formed. He knew us before the womb, before we even was given life. So you need to accept your life and your spirit and your life. Where do you want your soul to be going? Because based off Christianity, this pre-Constantine Christian stuff, you don't want much. Change comes from within. Not because I sit and give sermons. Not because he or she is over there pushing out content and material. You yourself get up off your behinds, get up off the couch, get up off the sofa, come out of these defiled and unclean buildings and temples and booths and shelters, come out of these unclean, unsanitary gyms and defiled gyms, trying to build up muscle, trying to build up your little shoguns and everything. Work from home. Work out from home. Exercise from home. Do it in your front yard, in your backyard. Run a mile or two up your block. Because right now, it's time for you to rise up. Kwam Yasharal. It's time for you to rise. Now, next topic of discussion is this. LGBTQ. Let's head over to 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 9 and 10. Shall we do that? That's the next topic on hand. You see what I mean? They have gotten so bad with this. It's awful. Terrible. Just horrible. So, let's read. Do you not know that the unrighteous shall not inherit the reign of Elohim? Do not be deceived. Neither those who whore, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor homosexuals, nor thieves, nor greedy of gain, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor swindlers shall inherit the reign of Elohim. Y'all heard that. Let's get that in the witness now. Let's see here. Right? Right. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahuwah? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of Yahuwah. Eluah. Y'all see that? And this is the judgment call. This is what's going to happen at the judgment seat. When you got to stand before Yahuwah, Yahushua HaMashiach, the Eluah Elohim, the Elohim, and give that account. Do you want to be found being one of these things? Because LGBTQ is what you call effeminate right there. It says effeminate, and they are abusers of themselves and with mankind. And some of them are drunkards. You see that? So, do you want to be found as one that is opposing? Because it's it's a terrifying, horrifying thing to fall into. It's a dreadful thing to fall into the living hands of the Eluah Elohim. Do you want to be found opposing him, or do you want to be found siding with him? Think about that as we continue to go on here. I'm going to slide back a little more and go to Romans chapter 1 and read a few verses from over there. Right. Romans chapter 1. And the verses is 21 to 27. Let's read some of that. Let's see here. Because although they knew Elohim, they did not esteem him as Elohim, nor gave thanks, but became vain in their reasonings, and their undiscerning heart was darkened. Look at that. That's reprobate. He gave you over to the reprobate because they want to be so carnal. LGBTQ, that's some very carnal stuff. They do some carnal things, if you get me. Yeah. They do some carnality. Carnality kills. Claiming to be wise, they became fools and changed the esteem of the incorruptible Elohim into the likeness of an image of corruptible man, and of birds, and of four-footed beasts, and of reptiles. Therefore Elohim gave them up to the uncleanness and the lust of their hearts. Look at that. Very lustful. Very unclean and very lustful and very disrespectful is the LGBTQ communities. Very. Not knowing that they're blindly serving and blindly worshiping Baal with that stolen rainbow and everything else in between. Huh? And it lust their hearts to disrespect their bodies among themselves. Look at that. Who changed the truth of Elohim into the falsehood. Yep. Falsehood. They got their own churches now. Telling everybody that it's okay to be a homo. It's okay to be a trans. It's okay to be hetero. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be a dyke. It's okay to be a lesbian. And it's okay to go both ways. In what world? That ain't what the truth say. That ain't what the scripts, the book of life, the bread of life, this TS 2009 scriptures say. And worship and serve what was created rather than the creator. They like the creation. They like you and I. They think you and I they think we savior, healer, redeemer, deliverer. They think we master, rabbi, teacher. They think we is the way, the truth, and life. The servant not greater than the master, And then on top of that, the caveat that you can't serve two masters. You can't serve Alua and Mammon, because a lot of them love that Mammon. Yes. Into the falsehood and worship and serve what was created rather than creator, who is Baruch forever. Amant. Because of this, Elohim gave them over to the degrading passions, for even their women exchanged natural relations for what is against nature, and likewise the men also, having left natural relations with woman, burned in their lust for one another, men with men. Look at that. And we're going to talk about how it is for women to lay with women and how it is for men to lay with men here shortly. Men with men committing indecency and receiving back the reward which was due for their straying. And even as they did not think it worthwhile to possess the knowledge of Elohim, gave them over to a worthless mind to do what is improper. See that? See, what the LGBTQ community don't realize and recognize is they're causing Yahushua HaMashiach to wrath. And I don't think that they know what's hitting for. What is hitting for? What's I don't think they know what's coming down the pipeline. Because y'all are tap dancing on Yahusha's nerves with all of this falseness. You're causing him to wrath. And it's unjust in his eyes. And you're faithless. So even if you got a church building, a church booth, a church shelter, a church temple, and you're doing these unjust, unclean, unrighteous things, his wrath gonna be sat upon you. His anger will be set upon you. If you don't quit while you're ahead, if you don't stop now, repent and come back. Repent and turn back, turn around. Because faith without works is dead. The faithless are worthless. They have no fruits of the labor to show for. No hard labor, no hard toil of the hands, no fruit. They fruitless. So, just because something gets a lot of support and a lot of backing, don't mean it's the real thing. Don't mean it's the truthful thing. Don't mean that that's the way you should go. Because this stuff has to be trained and coached and mentored. You got to understand, LGBTQ is programming. It programs you to do that. You've been programmed. It's hypnosis. You're under demonic possession. You're under satanic possession, and you need to come home. Come on out. Come from over there with the heathens, with the bastards. Unless you find yourself in the crosshairs, in the wrath of Yahusha. Right? Now let's do this. Let's go to 1 Timothy. Verse 10. Verse Timothy right here. First Tim, and the chapter is 1 and verse 10. Okay. Boom. Let's read. For those who whore, for sodomites, for kidnappers, for liars, for perjurers, and for whatever else that is contrary to sound teaching. Because they're teaching that irregular, abnormal teaching. They're teaching that everything that they're doing is all right. Everything, preaching and teaching that everything is okay and all right. That the approach is fine. But when you encounter Yahusha though, you're going to see otherwise. And he's going to beg to differ with you. Now, here's the thing. Let's read. Let's read that witness. Teach no other doctrine. Whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for men stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine. They teach what's contrary to sound doctrine. And lo and behold, you didn't have nobody to tell you any better. A lot of those LGBTQ are renegades. They're revilers. They're rogues. They're rebels. They're loners. They ain't had nobody to learn them and raise them right. So of course you're gonna jump into to the crowds of and the sea of people and just get swept away by the wayside. Because ain't nobody drilled no common sense in your head when you was in your youth, in your adolescence, when you was younger. You ain't had nobody pitching to you sound doctrine. So now when you get it, when it's real late in the game, everybody stiff-necked, everybody stubborn-hearted, everybody got the stony heart. But Yahuwah seeks a contrite heart, not just your outward appearance like Baal. Yahusha never meant for you to wear no makeup caked up on your face. Never meant for you to go and tweak your body out. He gave you all that you ever could need and want and more. But yet you want to go and revamp everything and reinvent yourself and turn yourself from a woman to a man and from a man to a woman. There ain't nowhere in Scripture. Nowhere in Scripture can that be found. Y'all hollering about kingdom spouses and spirit spouses. There ain't no such thing. That ain't nothing but a soul tie, huh? Yeah. Yes. Now, let's keep pushing. Let's do Judah. Yehuda. Let's go over there. We're going to go over there. We're going to go over there for a little bit. We shall live. Jude, and the chapter is 1 and verse number 7 now. Let's read that. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities around them in a similar way to these, having given themselves over to whoring and gone after strange flesh, are set forth as an example, undergoing judicial punishment of everlasting fire. Y'all hear that? This is an earnest. This is just being frank and modest and upfront and straightforward. This is just earnest. Are you content with where your amanah is, your faith is? Are you content with being on the dark side, being in darkness? Are you content with having the veil over your eyes and the blindfold on? Because you're walking down Broadway heading for destruction. You're headed for the lake of sulfur. You're headed for the lake of fire. If you stay in those dwelling places that you at, in those spaces where you dwell. Because Yahusha is absent where you are mingling at. Where you're doing all your shindigs and shenanigans and being hooligans and stuff over there. But where is witness at? Where's the witness? But these speak evil of those, not that one, even in Sodom and Gomorrah. Y'all remember what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah? And the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. And you can't out no spiritual fire. That thing is everlasting. That thing is for ever and ever in a day. Everlasting. And he gonna make an example out of you if you don't move. Move from over there. Come from over there. Come out of there. Get from around them. It's a change of mind. When you repent, it's a change of mind. It's a change of direction. It's a change of your ways and wits about you. It's not finding more sin to get into. It's not finding more flaws to add onto your repertoire, to your resume, to your reservoir. It's coming into alignment, coming into agreement, coming into contract what the truth actually says. A lot of you don't even know that the book of life, the bread of life, the word of truth speaks against the very things that you're doing. Speaks against it. Even I, was a fool, was a wrong fool, was an idiotic fool, was a dumb fool, was a stupid fool. I was lustful. I was a fornicator. I was an adulterer. I've been on that side of the fence. I've been on the outside looking in before too. Looking like a lost sick puppy. I was there, just like you all. But it's possible. Me sitting right here in front of you should show and prove and express to you that it's enough. That is possible. The love of Yahuwah. The loving kindness, the loving compassion, and the loving commitment, the loving dedication could be yours too. If you just get right. You got to get right. LGBTQ ain't doing it for you. They gonna computerize you. They gonna sabotage you. They don't care about you. The one that runs that, he already know what his fate is, and he wants your destiny and your fate to be the same as his. This hot and burning lake. So, move along. Move along. Let's go to Revelation chapter 21. Revelation chapter 21. Let's do that. And the verse is number 8. It reads, "But as for the cowardly and untrustworthy and abominable and murderers and those who whore and drug sorcerers and idolaters and all the false, their part is in the lake, which burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death." So in order to get to the new heaven and new earth that shall be Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, we have to overcome this brutality. We have to overcome this life cycle, these worldly measures, these worldly deeds, these worldly tactics, these worldly tacticians. We got to get past and see past all the fluff. Ladies and gentlemen, people, folks. Look at this. "But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake, which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death." See, the first time you die, you only supposed to be asleep. But see, the second time you die, you really gonna die. And that's gonna be the most painful, hurtful, a lot of weeping and gnashing. And I don't think you out there in the LGTB community want any parts of that. I don't think you want any smoke with that. Like y'all like to say, smoke, we don't want no smoke. If you're in any one of those letters in that LGBTQ, you are abominable. It's detestable. He says it right there. And you idolater. You idolize the rainbow. You idolize a wardrobe. You idolize a clothing line. You idolize in brands. Your life is your fountain of youth. Treat it like such. Treat it like so. You're only going to get one chance, one shot, one opportunity at life. When your life is over, consider the consequences. Consider the ramifications and repercussions. Consider them while you still have a little time, which is very little. All right? So let's take it back to the Torah, the Torah. And we're gonna go over to Leviticus now. Leviticus 18. And we're gonna do verse 22. Yep, we're gonna do verse 22. Let's do that. Yes. Here we go. So it reads this: those blind, or no, I'm in the wrong one. Shalaki. There we go. And do not lie with a male as with a woman. It is abomination. See that? And do not have intercourse with any beast to defile yourself with it. Look at that. And a woman does not stand before a beast to mate with it. It is perversion. There it is. Right there. Right in your face. Right in your face. And this is the call to Yasharal and all those Gentiles and natural born, native born. This is the call to keep Yahuwah's order. To keep his ordinances. To keep what he ordained. And then you got those that want to be in incest, because LGBTQ is incest. It is. They will sleep with anybody that they attracted to, as long as that man like that man, or that man loves that woman, or that woman like that woman, or that woman loves that woman. They will get laid. They will just do the do. They'll do the horizontal polka. They'll do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around, huh? Look at that. The sin of incest. And then the immoral act. He says, we as Yasharal shall not be, we should not be in defilement before him. And we should be conducting our personal conduct according to his laws, according to his statutes and commands. And if we're not doing that, our acts are forbidden. Our acts are immoral. Like immorality is what it's called. Okay? So listen. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion, my people. Confusion. Now listen. Let's go over to chapter 20. Stay right here in Leviticus. Stay right here in Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 13. It says this: and a man who lies with a male as he lies with a woman, both of them have done an abomination. They shall certainly be put to death. Their blood is upon them. Y'all heard? I know y'all heard now. This is the penalty for remaining in that sin right here. This is the warning shot, the warning call to keep Yahuwah's laws, keep his statutes and commandments. And this what penalizes you for the laws that are broken, and we must follow the Eluah Elohim, by way of the Messiah, through the Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach. Can't make this up. We ought to be priest-like. You see what I'm talking about? The high priest is Mashiach, Messiah, Yashaya, Yahushua HaMashiach. So we ought to be in his image and likeness. We ought to be just like he was. Just as he was. And look, let's read that witness. It says this: if a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So this is like a waste not, want not foundation. You know what I mean? It's not solid like a rock, like copper, like Peter was, as he was described by Yahusha himself. People, we gotta grow up. We gotta grow up and glow up. There's so much low hanging, low vibrational, low frequency things in this world that we are clinging and cleaving to and hanging on to and are consuming, not even knowing it's one of the deadly sins. You got what? Lust, gluttony, jealousy, envy, idolatry, and so many of them. The pride of life, and that's another thing. Like the pride, they calling the LGBTQIA, they calling it Pride Month and all this stuff, not even knowing that that's a deadly sin as well. And there's penalties. There's penalties, man. When you got pride in your heart, you a lawbreaker. You a lawless one. Yeah. So, pride goes before the fall and a haughty spirit. Pride comes before destruction. And unless you drop it like a bad habit and leave it alone, you're going to be done in too. You're going to be done in with it. You're going to go die by the sword. If you won't live by the sword, you die by the sword. So, I'm Emmanuel Matif Yahoo, and I just wanted to put that bulletin in your ear on this day that Yahusha has made and brought to pass and brought to fruition. And I'm rejoiced and glad, and I am happy. He ain't have to do it. He didn't have to do it, but he did. And all praise, honor, worship, and esteem, and exaltation to Yahuwah, Elu Elohim. And it is yours truly and sincerely, Emmanuel Matif Yahoo. And hopefully you all got something out of the message. Those actions in Christianity, pre-Constantine Christians in Christianity, may this be of eye raiser. May this be of concern for you. May this be an eye raiser, and may this, pierce you, deep down inside within, in your mind, body, heart, and soul, and vessel, and temple. And until the next time I see you for part 2. Yeah, definitely got to do a part 2 because there's so much to cover. But I enjoy myself here with you all on this day, on this Yom. And this is like therapy for me. This is like medicine for me. It's fun for me. It is truly a barakah and favor that has been bestowed upon me and instilled in me. And I wouldn't be here without Yahusha. It is impossible to be here without Yahusha. So if I can be here and be helpful in any size, shape, form, or fashion to those who are unknown, the unknown, then Yahusha can count on me and depend on me, rely on me to do so, as I count on him and depend on him, rely on him for everything, for all matters and circumstances in my life. With any situation, friendship, relationship, partnership. The Most High Abba, Yahuwah, Yahusha, is King, and Yahuwah Baruch you and keep you. Yahuwah Barak you and keep you. Uphold you, uplift you, raise you up, bring you up in these last of days. And take heed and comply and adhere to the words that were read, because it's written, it's final, it's set in stone, and it's done. And it will be fulfilled. So it's not make-believe, and it's definitely a very real thing. So catch you all on the flip side. I'd like to say shalom, shalom, and kwam yasharah to all the Kadashim, all the Mishpachah, set apart in Kadesh, select few, elect saints, chosen few, chosen ones. This is Emmanuel, Pt.1, signing out. Shalom.